I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
The Indianapolis Colts officially have another new quarterback. The Indianapolis Colts have decided to bench Joe Flacco. The Indianapolis Colts have decided to go back to Anthony Richardson. Now, Mark D, myself, and Hoffy, on our pregame show on Saturdays at 9 p.m. East Coast time, right at Facebook.com, and of course, YouTube.com/manhour. About 3-4 weeks ago, we said that the Indianapolis Colts were better with Joe Flacco at the helm. At the time, Anthony Richardson went out, and the Joe Flacco came in versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, bada bing, bada boom, won that game. We said that Joe Flacco looked better, and the team rallied around Joe Flacco. Shane Steichen said, hey, you know what? Anthony Richardson is our guy. He's our quarterback moving forward. Flash forward a couple weeks, Houston Texans, 3rd and goal, down by 10. I'm tired, coach, I'm tired. Anthony Richardson got benched. He was benched at that particular point, not because he was tired, because they said he was not preparing himself ready enough to play, AKA he was tired. Since then, Joe Flacco has not been playing great football. The Indianapolis Colts as a whole have not been playing great football. But, Shane Steichen's like, Joe Flacco's our guy. Joe Flacco is our guy. Joe Flacco is our quarterback moving forward. 24 hours later, bada bing, bada boom, Anthony Richardson has been deemed starter. So what does this mean for the Indianapolis Colts moving forward? This means that Anthony Richardson has to be your starter moving forward. Because if you bench him for whatever reason, let's say he is not hurt, and you bench him, all of a sudden, you have lost all faith on the team. The locker room at this point is rebelling against you. Do you even know what you're doing at this point, Shane Steichen? So Anthony Richardson, guys, is the Colts quarterback moving forward. Simple as that. Nothing less, nothing less. He is the quarterback moving forward. So let me ask you guys this. Are the Indianapolis Colts fully in tank mode now? Are the Indianapolis Colts okay with just being, you know what? This is a wash of a season. I know we have a shot to make the playoffs. I know we have the opportunity to potentially be really, really good. But, you know what? It is what it is. What are you guys' thoughts? Those are my thoughts. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. Where
What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour and Sport Talk. Man Hour, Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go! What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here with the Man Hour. Be sure to manhourradio.com. Check out the blog section. Of course, check out the merchandise section as well. Get yourself a nice, fresh white hoodie. It is cold out there. We got the extra thick hoodies out there. So if you want a nice, thick Man Hour hoodie, bada bing, bada boom, head over there right now. We also got the Everydayer promo code out there as well. So if you are an Everydayer, all you gotta do is go to the website, click on the Everydayer t-shirt link, bada bing, bada boom, go to checkout, and then they'll ask you for a promo code. You put Everydayer in there, bada bing, bada boom, you get a free t-shirt. I said free. He said free. Yeah, I said a free. Free t-shirt, Everydayers. Guys, thank you for all your support. But it is Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday, the Hump Day Blues. We are kind of in that midweek. We don't know what to do with ourselves. Monday Night Football is like 2 days away, and Thursday Night Football is tomorrow. We're like, what? Week 11 is officially here. Guys, this is the NFL week that we need. We have the Ravens versus Steelers. We have the Commanders versus Eagles. We have the Chiefs versus Bills. Hell, we have the Bengals versus the Chargers. I love that game. That game's going to be a hell of a game. But we do got a great show for your lineup today. We're going to talk about those Ravens versus Steelers. We got to talk about, is this a must win for either team? Does the winner of this game win the AFC North? We got to talk about that. And then the Eagles versus Commanders, Thursday Night Football. Are we ready to buy some hype? Are we ready to buy the hype of the Eagles and or Commanders? What? And of course, it is Factor Crap Wednesday. We're going to talk MVP talk. We got to talk a little bit more Lamar Jackson MVP. A little bit of factor crap. Brian Flores says he wants to be a head coach. What? Daniel Jones is starting for the rest of the season, or is he? Shane Schoen says his injury clause is no joke, but he will be determined on his level of play. We'll talk about that. What? And then best coaching job out there. There's going to be some job openings coming up very soon. Who is the best coaching job? And of course, we got Madden football. Is Madden football the greatest football game ever? Ever? We got a great show for you lined up to guys. So sit tuned, sit back, kick your feet up, and enjoy some Man Hour NFL talk, because we are live, raw, and uncut every Monday through Friday, 1:30 East Coast time, right here at Facebook.com/Man Hour, and of course, YouTube.com/Man Hour. But most importantly, guys, if you are watching us on YouTube Shorts, if you are on the YouTube short stream right now and you are like, man, I want some more. But if you guys click on the link below, there's a full link to the show. We are streaming the full link over at youtube.com/Man Hour. And we got the overlays, we got some graphics, we got this, and we got a little bit of that. I can't show that on the YouTube Shorts for some reason. The software that I have doesn't pop it up on the YouTube Shorts, but over here on the main YouTube page, it does pop up. So this is a live interactive show. So if you guys are out there, let us know, and we will definitely comment, discuss whatever you want to talk about. But let's get into today's show, and let's talk about the game of the week. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. This is a game that is for the ages, right? This is a game that's going to be potentially, hopefully, living up to the hype. We have two division people, 7-2 in the Pittsburgh Steelers and 7-3 in the Baltimore Ravens, both kind of battling for that AFC North presidency, battling for the AFC North title, battling for I'm the top dog of the AFC. But many people have kind of been sleeping on a few teams, aka the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the question that I want to address very firstly here, the question that I want to approach and discuss is, is this a measuring stick game for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do the Pittsburgh Steelers have to come out there and flop it out and be like, look how good we actually are? And when we look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, they are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. When we look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, we have to think, man, they are actually a pretty good team. They have won 4 games in a row, and they benched a starting quarterback that had 4 wins to start the season as is. Insert Russell Wilson, and he is now 3-0 as a starter. So with that being said, When you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are a team that is up and coming. Each and every game, they seem to get better and better and better. That defense is stout. Insert the trade deadline. They added their must-read receiver that they wanted, Mike Williams. Many people, the NFL experts, let's use that term very, very loosely, because what makes you an expert, whatever it is, it is what it is, deemed that Mike Williams trade to the Pittsburgh Steelers was a C-. Then the very next game, not even 3 days after the fact, bada bing, bada boom, he is catching a game-winning touchdown. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense is nothing to write home about. They're not putting up godly numbers. They're not putting up 500-yard passing games, right? They're not putting up 5 touchdown performances, but they don't got to, because they got the 5th-ranked best defense in the NFL. And when you have a top-ranked defense in the NFL, scoring 20 points a game is all you need, right? When you look at their wins this season so far, over the Atlanta Falcons, 18 points. Over the Denver Broncos, 13 points. Over the Chargers, 20 points. Then they started to get on a little roll. Then offense started to click a little bit, right? Las Vegas Raiders, 32 points. The New York Jets, 37 points. The Giants, 26 points. And then versus the Commanders, 28 points. So when we look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, in general, is this a measuring stick game? Is this a game where they're going to throw it all out and look how good we actually are? And this is 100% true. This is 100% true. This is a measuring stick game for the Pittsburgh Steelers when they played the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. This is a game that they have to go out there and show the world, shock the world. Even if they don't win, they have to play competitive, and then I think people will start to buy into the hype. Then I think people will be like, okay, maybe you guys are on a little something, because when we did our power ranking show last night, I had the Pittsburgh Steelers sitting at number 5 in the power rankings. Hoffy and Mark D are like, yeah, they won 4 games in a row. Yeah, they're 7-2. But who had they played? Right? Who have they actually played? I mean, and I get it. You play who is in front of you, but the truth be told, they've actually played 4 playoff teams. When you say they haven't played anybody, that's a false statement. Because when you look at the record, week number 1, they played the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are probably going to end up winning the NFC South. Week 2, both on the road, by the way, they played the Denver Broncos. Broncos are probably going to slide into the 7th seed in the AFC. They're going to mess around and find out how the playoffs actually are, and then they're going to get thumped, but they're still a playoff team. Oh, by the way, they played the Chargers. 3 straight weeks, 3 playoff teams, right? They beat the Chargers, a Chargers team that is the hottest team in the NFL. Many people are sleeping on the Chargers. Wake up. They are here. They are there, right? And then they played the Washington Commanders just last week. Those are 4 playoff teams that they have played. The Falcons, Broncos, Chargers, and Commanders. Yes, they did play the Colts, Cowboys, Raiders, and Jets, whatever, right? The simple fact of the matter is they have been proven and they've been tested, and they are still 7-2 in the NFL, and they're just as good. With that being said, guys, I got to ask the question. Is this a measuring stick game for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I say yes. I say yes because all of those naysayers, Mark, Hoffy, the rest of the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers ain't shit. They haven't played nobody. Well, they have played somebody. And on Sunday, on November 17th at 1 o'clock on the East Coast time, it will be on my TV, the main TV. I'm like, you know what? Bada bing, bada boom. Pittsburgh Steelers are the real deal. They are the 5th-ranked team in the NFL. They are them. They are them. So are the Pittsburgh Steelers the real deal, guys? Is this a measuring stick game? And can people finally stop sleeping on them? Let's welcome my man, Derek, into the game. He says, well, half of those games were a different quarterback. It doesn't matter, Derek. It doesn't matter if Justin Fields played against the Falcons, Broncos, and Chargers, right? It doesn't matter. Bada bing, bada boom. Insert Russell Wilson. He does. Russell Wilson has been undefeated, right? 3-0 as a starter. Win versus the Jets, right? Wins over the Giants. Not a bad Giants team. The Giants team's got a pretty good defense. I believe they're ranked 15th in the NFL. Not terrible. A Commanders team. Many people are kind of sleeping on them as well. But the Commanders are up and coming as well. So it doesn't matter if you have X quarterback, B quarterback, Z quarterback. It doesn't matter because the Pittsburgh Steelers have a system where it is plug and play. You can put Justin Fields in there. You can put Russell Wilson in there. Hell, you can put Malik Willis in there. You can put Trey Lance in there. Dak Prescott. It doesn't matter. The Steelers are going to win because they're winning off of running and defense. That is how they win their games. That is how they're going to continue to win their games. And that is how they're going to beat the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. Run the ball, play defense, because we all know that the Baltimore Ravens cannot play defense. So are we sleeping on the Pittsburgh Steelers? Are we finally buying into the hype? Is this a measuring stick game for them? That is the question that we want to answer today here in the comments, guys. So let us know. What do you think? What do you think? We got my man Mark D. Mark D is in the chat. Speaking of Mark D, I had Mark D on the Power Ranking show last night. He's like, yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers are good, but who have they played? Speaking of the devil, Mark, they played people. They have played people. They played 4 playoff teams. I counted a playoff team as your Denver Broncos, so give me a little bit of credit, but the Falcons, Broncos, Chargers, and Commanders. 4 of their 9 games so far has been against playoff teams. So don't tell me that they haven't played nobody. They have played people. They have played people. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Got my man Frank Glass in the chat. He says, what's up? What's up? What's up, Frank? Frank is a Colts fan, so he knows all about winning. My bad, Frank. Was that too soon? Nah, but as you guys know, the Colts did bench Joe Flacco. That was my opening rant. So, measuring stick game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, yes or no? That is the real question. On the other side of that stick, though, we have the Baltimore Ravens. We have the Ravens that have been one of the hottest teams in the NFL. They've also been one of the coldest teams in the NFL, but right now they have won 7 of their last 8. They are playing good football. They're playing hot football. They are a team that everybody is deeming Super Bowl champions. They're already crowning them, but they're second in the AFC North. They're second behind the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC North. So this is the division game. This game couldn't be for all the marbles in the AFC North. Let's just be flat out honest about it. So the question that I want to propose to the 7-3 Ravens have to beat the Steelers this week. Do they have to come out there and flex on them and show the whole NFL like, hey, we still own the North. We still them. And when you look at the Ravens, guys, they won, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. They were on cloud 9. They rolled over the Cowboys. They rolled over the Buffalo Bills. They survived against the Bengals. They beat a good Commanders team. They beat a really good Buccaneers team. They shit the bed versus the versus the Browns. They come back, they wallop the Broncos, and then they come out and they survive against the Bengals yet again. They are hot right now. 7 of the last 8. They are a really, really good team. But like I said, they are currently sitting second in the AFC North. And if they lose this game to the Pittsburgh Steelers, they would be 1.5 games behind the Pittsburgh Steelers for first place. When you look at the Baltimore Ravens, they do have the best offense in the NFL. Not the second best, not the third best, not top 5. It's the best offense in the NFL. But they have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They actually have a big play percentage that is worse in the NFL. They give up more big plays than the Jacksonville Jaguars, than the New England Patriots, than the Cleveland Browns. The Baltimore Ravens give up big plays at a rate that is unmatched by the rest of the NFL. One of the worst defenses in the NFL. So 7-3 Pittsburgh Steelers taking on, 7-3 Baltimore Ravens taking on 7-2 Baltimore Ravens. Is this a must-win game for the Baltimore Ravens? Do the Baltimore Ravens have to come out here and win this game? And I have to say, if the Baltimore Ravens do not win this game, their defense will be questioned even more. We're already questioning their defense as is, but it's going to be questioned even more if they lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers. A Pittsburgh Steelers team that offense is subpar. I think it's a decent offense, but many people deem it subpar, right? They have dominated most of the games that they have played. When you look at the Baltimore Ravens season so far, they have dominated at certain parts of every single game. They have played a few complete games, but they also have given up a few big plays as well. But yet, they have yet to play a true competitor. When you look at the Baltimore Ravens schedule, name me one team that they can say, yeah, that is a true competitor. You can say the Kansas City Chiefs, sure, week 1. Week 1 doesn't matter. Week 1, Thursday night game, opening day, that game is just right off. Anything can happen opening day. But since then, yeah, they've beaten the Buffalo Bills. Not really a Super Bowl contender. The Bills are good, but not really a Super Bowl contender. Bucks, yeah, they're good, not a Super Bowl contender. The Commanders, they're good, yeah, not a Super Bowl contender. They have yet to play really a Super Bowl contender until this weekend. When they play the Pittsburgh Steelers, this will be the first Super Bowl competing team that they could actually win and compete against. So yes, this is a must win for the Baltimore Ravens. They have to come out there, they have to show their load, they have to blow their load, and they have to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I understand this is a divisional game. I understand this is on the road. I understand that losing this game puts everything into question. Oh, is Harbaugh the guys? The defense suck, whatever. But they have to come out and win this game. All eyes are going to be on this game. This 1 o'clock game, everybody is going to be watching. Everybody is going to be looking. The Baltimore Ravens have to win this game, and they have to flex on them, and they have to dominate them. If they don't, there's going to be so many questions come into play. There's going to be so many questions come into play. Well, yeah, you got Deontay Johnson in the trade, but why didn't you dress any of your defense? Yes, I understand they picked up Tre'Davious White, but was that really what you needed? You needed an edge rusher. What is Tre'Davious White really going to do? He's a backup nickel guy. Wait, what is he going to do? You need rushers, and the defense sucks. If the Baltimore Ravens lose this game, everything is going to be questioned. It's going to be ridiculed. Is Lamar Jackson really the MVP? Are the Ravens really Super Bowl favorites? Why is the defense so bad? This is a prove-it game for the Ravens. It's simple as that. They have to come out there, and they have to flex. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. Do the Baltimore Ravens have to win this game? And if they lose, what happens? Do they got to win? And what happens if they lose? That is the question that we're going to propose today. Now, there's a lot of implications in this game as well. There's a lot of implications in this game. Ravens versus Steelers, right? This game could mean everything in the AFC North. This game could potentially be the winner of the AFC North. So the question is, does the winner of the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens, this Week 11 game at 1 o'clock East Coast time at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, does the winner of this game win the North? Now, the AFC North is consistent of 4 teams. You have the Cleveland Browns currently at 2-7. I think the winner of this division has to get probably 11, if not 12 wins to win this division. I think that race is that much tight, right? Cleveland Browns sitting at 2-7. If the Cleveland Browns win out, they get 10 wins on the season. They have the Steelers twice in 3 weeks, and then they play the Chiefs and then the Ravens to end the season. There is no way the Cleveland Browns are going to win this division. No way, no how. 10 wins in the last 9 weeks, not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? The Cleveland Browns are done. You can write them off. Cincinnati Bengals, they're sitting at 4-6. They're going to win out, and they are going to win the division and make a playoff push or even a wild card push. When you look at the Bengals, right, they have 3 divisional games left. They play the Steelers twice, and then they play the Cleveland Browns. This week, they have a playoff type game versus the LA Chargers on Sunday Night Football. This is a playoff or bust type of game. This could make or break their entire season. And then they have a couple easy games versus the Cowboys and Titans. Should be nice little W's in the win column there. But then they play a Broncos team that will be battling for a playoff position in this particular point. So the Bengals have 7 games left. They would probably need 6 wins out of the 7 for them to have a chance to win the division. I think they're done. I think you can write the Bengals off. You cannot beat the Steelers twice. You cannot beat the Browns. Probably not. The Chargers, a tough game. The Broncos are going to be a tough game. They have a tough way, right? And even they make a push, they would be a one and done in the playoffs. I understand you still have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, but I think the Bengals are done. Giving us a 2-horse race, right? Comes down to this week, right? Ravens versus Steelers. Winner take all. Not so fast, baby. The Ravens are sitting at 7-3. They are already 3-0 in the division. Following this game, they have the Chargers and like Eagles, and then they have the Giants, and then they play the Steelers again at the Texans, and they end the season versus the Browns. So they got 7 games left. 11 to 12 wins the division. So they have to win 4 of the last 7 or 5 out of the last 7 to win the division. Very, very good chance that they can win 5 games to end the season. Very, very good chance. Then you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, 7-2. They have all 6 of their division games left, 5 after this game, right? Outside of that, they do play the Eagles and Chiefs. They do have 3 games in 10 days versus the Eagles, Ravens, and the Chiefs. Eagles and Ravens are both on the road. 8 games left and left in the season for the Steelers, 11 or 12 wins. I don't see the Steelers getting 4 or 5 more wins to end the season. So I think it is the Ravens' division, obviously, to win. So if the Steelers do win this game, obviously they would have the head up, but I think it's still the Ravens' division to lose at this particular point. So winner take all of this game? Nah, it doesn't matter. I think the Ravens are the front runner in the AFC North, and I think the Ravens probably do take it by 12, if not 13 wins. The Steelers are going to be an 11, 12-win team still a dangerous playoff team, but probably not winning the division, and that's good for them. A little underdog roll, a little bit of underdog roll. MVM 1978 says Falcons must win in Mile High. They must. It is a big win for them. My man Danny Hawkers in the chat says afternoon came just in time. Close game, 31-34 Steelers. Yeah, I said it. Listen, Danny, I think the Steelers are going to win this game as well. I don't think it's going to be a shootout, 30 points plus. I think it's going to be a grinded out game, 17-10, 13-12 type of score. It's going to be a low scoring game, I think. Low scoring game. My man James Chambers in the chat with the WRA Tower YouTube page. He says Steelers win, Ravens may go on a 3-game slide. And to be honest, James, that would not shock me one bit. It would not shock me if the Ravens do go on a little bit of a slide, right? Because they do play the Steelers, the Chargers, and then the Eagles in 3 weeks in a row, and then going into their late season bye week. It would not be out of thought, out of reach at all if they go on a 3-game slide. So good observation there. Monday Night Football out LA, and then Sunday afternoon game versus the Eagles. That is going to be tough. That is going to be tough. Danny Hawker says, no, you're wrong straight up. Please mention the Ravens haven't beat us with a bum running back quarterback at the helm. I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers swept the Ravens last season and the year before that. So, Danny, I'm saying you're right. I'm saying the Steelers are going to beat the Ravens, but I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I'm giving your Steelers props, Danny. I'm saying that the Steelers have the best defense, they have a good offense, and they have one of the best special teams in the NFL. I'm giving your team props, man. I'm not wrong, but it's going to be a low-scoring game. 17-13, 13-12 type of score. It's going to be a low game. Mark D says, MVM 1978. Kurt is going to have problems with that altitude. He's going to have problems with that altitude over there in Mile High. WR Tower says, yeah, my phone won't play your feed on Facebook the last 2 days. Interesting. I'm not for sure. Are you banned from Facebook? I mean, I know I don't know. I don't know. Facebook acts weird, honestly. I'm not even going to lie, James. So, but I see Danny's on Facebook and Mark's on Facebook as well. So maybe, I don't know. And Danny says, I appreciate the love for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't mean to be refutive. I don't care, Danny. You do you, man. We're here to have a civilized conversation. We can debate all day you want, man. But just know that I'm going to challenge everything that you say. Just know that. We're all here, baby. We're all here having some fun. But questions that we need to ask, are the Pittsburgh Steelers for real? Are the Baltimore Ravens in the must-win situation here? Do they have to prove it? And who wins the NFC North? All those questions have been answered, how those questions have been answered. And let's move on. Let's move on to a game that happened tomorrow night. Let's move on to a game that I am really excited to watch. Even though I hate Thursday night games, I just want to put that out there as clear as day. I hate Thursday night games, but this is the game that I can get behind. This is the game that I am actually really, really excited to watch, and that is the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, right? When we did our power ranking show last night, Mark D has been selling me the Eagles for the last 3 weeks. The Eagles need to be up there. The Eagles need to be up there. I finally put the Eagles up in the power rankings last week, and I moved them up to number 6 this week, right, in my NFL power rankings. But the naysayers out there are like, who have they played? Who have they played? Who have they played? And truth be told, the Philadelphia Eagles really haven't played anybody in their 5-game winning streak. Yes, they did play the Browns. They played the Giants, Bengals, Jaguars, and Cowboys. No playoff teams there, right? None. Jaguars aren't going to make it. Cowboys aren't going to make them. Bengals have a chance, but they're not going to make it. Giants and Browns both out, right? They have not, quote, played anybody. But when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, their offense is flying sky high. They have the 6th ranked offense in the NFL. They're averaging 200 yards passing per game and 180 yards on the ground. Wrap your head around that. Nice balanced attack. You don't know where they're going to come from. And oh, by the way, they're averaging 26 points per game as well. Oh, Buck, but they gave up 23 points to the Jaguars, 17 points to the Bengals, 22 points to the Falcons, 33 points to the Buccaneers. Their defense sucks. Wow, slow it down, baby. The Eagles have the 2nd best ranked defense in the NFL. They're only giving up 274 yards per game and only 17 points per game. Like I said, my man Mark has been high on the Eagles for 3 weeks now. I am finally buying into what he has been selling. Yes, but who have they played? Who have they played? They haven't played anybody. I get it. But this Thursday, when they play the Commanders, they've finally played somebody. And oh, by the way, we get to see them on primetime the next 3 of the 4 weeks. They play primetime on Thursday. Then they play Sunday Night Football versus the Rams. And then they play America's Game of the Week versus the Ravens. And then they play America's Game of the Week versus the Steelers, right? We're going to see a lot of Philadelphia Eagles on the TV coming up. But the question is that I want to ask you guys, are we buying the hype around the Philadelphia Eagles? Are we sold that the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC East? Are we sold that the Philadelphia Eagles can make it to the NFC Championship game? They've been selling us, but are we officially buying, right? I have bought into the Eagles hype a little bit. I moved them up into my power rankings, and this week, I moved them up into number 6, right? I am seeing what they're doing. I'm seeing that they're putting the product out there. And I understand they've beaten the Browns, right? Who hasn't beaten the Browns besides the Ravens? Yes, they beat the Giants. Who hasn't beaten the Giants? Bengals, Jaguars, Cowboys. All not so great teams. I get it. But if you look at those games, if you actually watch those games, just not the scores, just not the teams, just not the stats, if you actually sit down and watch the games, the Philadelphia Eagles are dominating those games from start to finish. They are dominating those quarters. They're dominating the plays. They're dominating every second of every play of those last 5 games. The Philadelphia Eagles, guys, are the real deal. And if you are not buying the hype, you are just a pure hater. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan right there. Right there is the ball. I have my Micah Parsons jersey, which I'm getting ready to sell. Good Lord, that guy pisses me off. I got the Dallas Cowboys hat. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. They're my second team, but I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I am buying the Philadelphia Eagles hype. They are the real deal. I don't care if they haven't played anybody. I don't care if the fact that, shut up. You need to watch the football games. You need to watch what Saquon Barkley is doing to people. Saquon Barkley is a man playing with boys out there. Even if we were playing flag football right now, Saquon Barkley would be averaging $165 on the ground still. This man is unstoppable right now. Jalen Hurts, getting better and better and more confident week after week. You can literally see his shoulders go from like this after the Buccaneers lost to a little bit of this, to a little bit of this, to a little bit of this. And now he has his chest pumped out. He's looking good, and he's having fun playing football. How can you guys tell me that the Philadelphia Eagles are not very good? For those Philadelphia Eagles haters out there, how can you legitimately tell me that the Philadelphia Eagles are not good? Seriously. Oh, because they haven't played nobody, Buck. Okay. They've beaten 2 division teams soundly. Oh, they're the bottom feeders. It's still a division game. Look at the Broncos versus Chiefs. Still a division game. Bengals versus Raiders. Bengals had no business battling with the Ravens twice this season. Not once, but twice. What, 1-point game and a 3-point game, right? No business battling with them, but it's the division game. Right? The point of the matter is the Philadelphia Eagles are that good. Dominated the Cowboys. They played decent against the Jaguars. A Jaguars team defense that's not terrible. Their offense sucks, right? But the defense is not terrible. A Bengals team that people are kind of sleeping on a little bit. If they get hot, me and the Kansas City Chiefs fan, you don't want to meet them in the playoffs. Joe Burrow beat Patrick Mahomes, the only active quarterback to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Giants dominated them, a division team. The Browns beat them. So, guys, are we buying the hype of the Philadelphia Eagles? Are we finally saying they haven't played nobody? They haven't played nobody. Stop it. Buy into the hype. Philadelphia Eagles are the real deal. So that's what I want you guys to answer in the question. Are they the real deal? Are they actually the real deal? Now, the Washington Commanders, on the other hand, I have not been too high on the Washington Commanders most of the season, right? I've had them in my power rankings in most of the season, right? But I have really not been sold on them. I'm like, this is a team yeah, they're good, but who have they played, right? I've been using the Philadelphia Eagles argument. Yeah, they're good, but who have they played? When you look at the Commanders, they are a decent team. They have wins over the Giants, Bengals, Cardinals, Browns, Panthers, Bears, and Giants. They have not dominated any of those games, but they played very, very well. And their losses, all the playoff teams, to the Steelers, to the Ravens, and to the Buccaneers, all games they really never really had a chance in besides the Pittsburgh Steelers game. They did have a 10-point lead in that game, ultimately lost it, but we digress. We'll talk about that later. But are the Washington Commanders fool's gold? As Mark Terms uses as Fugati or Fujiji or something, whatever. The FU, the fun guy. Are the Washington Commanders the real deal or not? While the Commanders are sitting at 7-3 on this NFL season, guys, they have not beaten a playoff team. They played playoff teams, but they have not beaten a playoff team. You can say maybe the Cardinals, right? They did beat the Cardinals week 4, dominated the Cardinals 42-14. I wouldn't say dominate, but they played very, very well. Cardinals played very, 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 very bad. They won that game 42-14. Are the Cardinals a playoff team? That's yet to be determined, right? But their offense is playing well. Offense is playing well. They're the 4th ranked offense in the NFL, averaging 225 passing yards per game, 155 yards on the ground, 25 points per game. Defensive ranked is 14th in the NFL. They are 324 passing yards per game, and they're giving up just 22 points per game. Obviously, guys, I think the Washington Commanders have overachieved this season. Overachieved, overperformed, whatever you want to call it. They have done that. I had them at 6 wins this season. They already have 7, right? Definitely overachieving. I said it yesterday, and I said it again, that this has Giants 2.0 written all over it again. And the people that do not understand that, the Giants were in a rebuild mode in 2022. Insert new head coach Brian Daboll. Daniel Jones kind of had one foot out the door, right? They winning season. I think they're 9-6-1. Go to the playoffs. Win a playoff game. They've sucked ever since then. The Commanders are supposed to be rebuilding the season. Overachieving. Are they going to suck for the rest of the season? No. But, guys, the question is, are the Commanders fool's gold? The Commanders are a decent team. I don't want to talk down on them whatsoever. They are built to win right now. They are built to win games right now, and they're doing that. Are they a Super Bowl caliber team? No. Are they a playoff team? Potentially. But are we buying the hype? Are we finally sold on the Commanders? I am not. I think they're decent. 10 wins is not out of the realm, right? They play the Cowboys, Titans, Saints, and Falcons to end the season, all very, very winnable games. They actually play the Cowboys twice. They could actually end up with 12 wins. Very, very feasible, but dangerous. I don't know. I'm not for sure. Are we buying the hype? Are we buying the hype? That is the real question. My man Derek says, do you think there's a chance at an all Pennsylvania Super Bowl? There's a very good chance at all Pennsylvania Super Bowl. The Steelers are my favorites to go to the AFC and represent in the Super Bowl. The Eagles, as long as they don't play the Lions, they'll be fine. You could definitely see that. Mark D says Eagles has one of the best rosters in the league. They do. If you look at the Chicago Bears, they have a really good roster. Potentially could be a really good roster, but yeah, the Eagles do have one of the best rosters on there. Danny says, no sound good, though. Be mixed feelings. Not for sure what you're saying, Danny. Re-say what you're saying, and I'll definitely try to understand that. My man WBN is in the chat. Says, I'm definitely buying the hype. But this week against the 3 next games against the Commanders, Ravens, and Rams will prove how real deal they actually are. Very, very true. The Steelers do have a very, very tough. No, they do have some tough tests coming up. Danny says, I think on the G-men is the players because Danny Dimes be trying to win games, and it's just the bad woes of head general manager's decisions. Hawkins may have been better, but we'll never know. The Giants are in a world of I don't even know how to explain the Giants. They're just in a very, very bad way right now. But the real question is, NFC Championship game. People yesterday, when I was on a different show, deemed that this Commanders versus Eagle game is a NFC Championship preview. This is a preview of the NFC Championship. And I got to thinking, like, could this really be a preview of the NFC Championship game? Like, yeah, the Eagles are good. Yeah, the Commanders are good. But are they both able to make the NFC Championship game? Is this a championship game preview? So let me ask you guys this question. Is the Commanders versus Eagles on Thursday Night Football, is this a preview of the NFC Championship game? And when I was first proposed this question, when I first was looking at the question, I'm like, what? Get out of here. But the NFC, guys, is pretty well balanced. From top to bottom, the NFC is balanced. Anybody could make a push and make it to the Super Bowl. It would be from the NFC. The AFC, right, you kind of have your front runners, right? Yeah, you got some lollygaggers like the Broncos and the Chargers and potentially like the Bengals or whoever slides into that last spot seed, right? They're all kind of there, but the AFC has kind of separated itself, right? You got the Ravens, you got the Steelers and the Chiefs, and the Bills. Those 4 teams are pretty much cut and dry. The NFC, legitimately, anybody can make it to the NFC Championship game. Whether it's the Lions, whether it's the Vikings, whether it's the Packers, the 49ers, yes, the 49ers, Eagles, Commanders, Falcons, or Bucks. Legitimately, any one of those teams can make it to the NFC Championship game. But to say that this is an NFC Championship game preview implies that they will pretty much be on separate sides of the bracket, right? They would have to be like a 4 and like a 7 seed. And I don't see that happening. I do not see them both being bad enough to be a 4 and a 17 as far as record-wise goes. And because both these teams are from the NFC East, right? So they cannot be the 1-2 seed. They cannot be the 2-3 seed. They would be, one would be a division winner, one would be a wild card. So 1 through 4, and then 5 through 7. And it's very unlikely that they will play in the NFC Championship game. And even if they could, I do not see the Commanders getting hot enough to actually make it there, right? The Commanders they're probably going to be, let's say, a 6 seed. When they're a 6 seed, they're going to have to play the 2 seed in the Philadelphia Eagles round number 1. Can they beat the Eagles? No. Let's say the Eagles are a 3 seed and whatever, right? When you go down the list, the Commanders, I don't think, can beat the division winners, right? They cannot beat the Lions. They will not be able to beat the Buccaneers if the Buccaneers win the South. They could probably beat the Falcons, but they're not going to beat the 49ers, and they're not going to beat the Eagles. So this is not a championship game preview whatsoever. But what are you guys' thoughts? Can this be a Super Bowl or a NFC championship preview? Can this be a preview of what we are going to see? And Mark D says NFC championship is going to be Philadelphia at Detroit. And Ant agrees with that. That is a very, very safe bet, but do not sleep on the San Francisco 49ers. I'm just saying, do not sleep on them. Do not sleep on them. Jim says it's only 2 hours road trip in traffic for the all Pennsylvania Super Bowl, right? But they would have to fly like 20 hours to New Orleans or something. Wouldn't that be good? And James Sherman says, no way. One of them have to get through the Detroit to make that happen. And if one of them were happen to get through Detroit, who would you take, right? Because I was on a Detroit Lions show yesterday. They were boasting their lines, all show, whatever, yada, yada, yada. They do what they want. But legitimately, the Lions are a good team. One of the best teams in the NFL. Second best team, to be exact. Can the Eagles or Commanders beat the Lions in the playoffs? The Commanders, I would say no. No. The Eagles would have the best shot. So the best shot for this NFC Championship preview game to happen, the Commanders versus the Eagles both making it, is that the Commanders win the division as a 4 seed. And then the Eagles are like the 6 or 7 seed, right? Then the Eagles would play a team like the 49ers or the Falcons in the first round. And then the Eagles and Lions would play in the divisional round. And then potentially we could see a Washington versus Eagles things, but that is a whole another story. But I don't think it's going to happen. Tell me I'm dumb, but Detroit is its own trap game. Detroit has the opportunity to shoot themselves in the foot. Yes, Jim, you are correct. The Lions had the opportunity to beat themselves over and over and over again, and they did. They did beat themselves versus the Houston Texans. Luckily for them, the Houston Texans were like, here, take the game from me. Take the game from me. And says, my dark horse is the Falcons. Kirk Cousins may just prove the haters are wrong. So the Falcons, they are a team that upsets me every single week, right? The minute I start to buy into the Falcons, they lose to a team like the Saints. They lose to the Seahawks at home. The minute I start to buy the Falcons, they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm like, okay, here we go. But then they played down the Falcons is a team that plays up to the competition and then plays down to the competition, much like the Las Vegas Raiders. It must be a black thing, right? If you have black in your uniform, you play up to the competition, then you play down to the competition. Ravens do the same thing. They play down to the Raiders week 2, right? If the Falcons can figure out how to be consistently good, not great, not bad, but just a nice, consistent, we are who we are, right? Play like the Detroit Lions. We're coming in here, we're playing our game, beat us if you can. If the Falcons can be like that, they would be a dangerous team. But they play down the competition, then they play up to the competition, down the competition, up to the competition. If they figure that out, they'll be okay. They will be A-okay. So, what do you guys think? Is this a championship game preview? I'm saying no. I think there's 3 other teams that would make it there. The Detroit Lions, the Eagles, and the 49ers have the best shot. Commanders are probably going to be a one and done in the playoffs if they make the playoffs. So it is what it is. All right, guys. So we previewed the Steelers versus Ravens, we talked about it a little bit. Of course, we'll preview it more on Friday. We got the Eagles versus Commanders as well. We'll preview that tomorrow as well. But today is Wednesday, and that means we're going to talk a little bit of fact or a little bit of crap. I've been scouring the old interwebs. I've been on our Facebook Trash Talk groups. If you're not a part of the Facebook Trash Talk group, you should join one. Head over to facebook.com, click on groups. We got every team, we got every division, and we got an all NFL page there as well. Also got a Discord. If you guys are into the Discord thing, head over to discord.com and search for Man Hour NFL Talk Plus. But I've been searching the old interwebs. I've seen what people are saying, and we're going to deem if those statements that people are saying, are they indeed facts or are they crap? So let's get going. And the first fact or crap of the day is going to be the MVP race. It is going to be the MVP race, right? Everybody is talking about MVP this, MVP that. Is Lamar Jackson the MVP? Is Patrick Mahomes the MVP? Joe Burrow. We've heard Josh Allen. We've heard Saquon. We've heard all these MVP rumors, but we got to talk about Lamar Jackson. We have to talk about how great Lamar Jackson has been over the course of this NFL season. And it seems that he is on his way to his third MVP. Not two, not one, but his third MVP. Back-to-back MVPs potentially. He is playing some of his best football, if not the best football to date. Right now, when you look at his stats, he is second in the NFL in passing. Yes, that running back is second in the NFL in passing, first in touchdowns. So when we look at Lamar Jackson and the MVP voting and the MVP race, is it fact or is it crap that the MVP voters are tired of Lamar Jackson winning and he will not win the MVP because of they're tired of his winning. They're tired of his fatigue, right? Now, before we discuss that, we have to look at Lamar Jackson's stats, his previous two MVP seasons. 2019 was his first MVP season. I have been on record, and I still stand by it, that I don't think he should have won the MVP that particular season, but he did win it. In 2019, he was a 66% completion rating for 3,127 yards, 36 tutties with a QBR ranking of 113.3. All pretty good stats, but Patrick Mahomes is a little bit better, but it's not Lamar. It's not about Patrick. It's about Lamar. In 2023, last season, he was even better, right? He had 3,678 yards passing, 24 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, a QBR ranking of 102, and a 67 completion percentage. Very, very good, right? Very, very elite level type of quarterback play. I haven't even figured in his rushing stats, right? And so far this season, he has surpassed that. 69% completion percentage, 2,669 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, matched his total from last season in just 10 games. What? Slow it down, baby. And also only has 2 interceptions. And the QBR ranking is even better, 123.2. And oh, by the way, he only turns 28 years old this January. So Father Time is still undefeated, right? Tom Brady gave him a little bit of run, but he lost, but Father Time is still undefeated. So we got to ask this question, guys. Is it fact or is it crap that Lamar Jackson will not win his third MVP because the MVP voters are tired of seeing him win? And I've been going back and forth on this. And I'm just like, yeah. And the point is that it is a fact. It is a fact that people get tired of people winning, right? I was on a Detroit Lions show yesterday, and people were dogging my Kansas City Chiefs because they're tired of seeing them win, right? And I said, it is easier to hate on people when they succeed and then to bring people up when they're playing bad. And the simple fact of the matter is that people are tired of seeing Lamar Jackson do well. They're tired of seeing Lamar Jackson win these MVPs. And if he wins his third MVP, I think it'll be the first three win MVP ever, I think. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. But back-to-back MVPs, we are going to be tired of seeing Lamar Jackson win these MVPs. So it is a fact that people will not vote for him because of the voter fatigue. We're tired of seeing him win. It is easier to hate on somebody when they're up than try to bring somebody down, right? It is easier to push people down than to bring them up. And that's why ultimately he will not win a third, fourth, or fifth MVP because we're tired of seeing winners. We're tired of seeing success, right? So guys, fact or crap, Are people tired of seeing Lamar Jackson MVP name put together? So let's see what the people are saying. Mark D says Josh Allen is the MVP this season. Josh Allen is playing good football. Right? Josh Allen is arguably second MVP race, might be first, right? Depending on who you talk to. I think Josh Allen is a very good MVP candidate. But the truth of the matter is, Mark, you know this, I know this, James know this, everybody knows this right now, is it is not a true MVP, right? It is not really a true MVP. It is the best, it is the quarterback on the best team. That's ultimately what it comes down to. So that is why Aaron Donald never got an MVP. That's why TJ Watt will never win a MVP. That is why a quarterback or a tight end like Travis Kelce will never win a MVP. They might be the true MVP of their team, of their league, but it's a quarterback-driven league. It's the quarterback on the best team, and that's ultimately what is going to happen. And right now, the Baltimore Ravens are the best team. They're going to finish on top. They're going to win more games than anybody else. James says, yeah, he had an off game, but Jared Goff is still leading in the MVP in my eyes. The problem with that Jared Goff MVP vote is that everybody saw it. It was on primetime TV. So when we start talking about MVP race, let's say Lamar Jackson. Let's look at a Ravens game that many people are not going to have eyes on, besides the Baltimore Ravens fans, if you have NFL Sunday ticket, right? Let's try to find a game that's probably not going to be on TV. Ravens versus Giants. December 15th, middle of December, they're at the Giants, 1 o'clock game on CBS. Very few people are going to be able to watch that game, right? Unless you have NFL Sunday ticket, you are not going to even watch that game unless you are a Ravens fan. Let's just be flat out honest, right? Let's say Lamar Jackson in that game does what Jared Goff did. 5 interceptions, does this, and this. Even though the Ravens win, let's say the Ravens win, just like you just change the teams, right? You put the Ravens in for the Lions and you put the Giants in for the Houston Texans. Lamar Jackson does that same thing. People are going to write it off. Oh, it's a 1 o'clock game. It's versus the Giants. It's like it's on the road. Who really cares, right? The point is that Jared Goff game was on prime time and Lamar Jackson game wasn't on prime time. That is what the biggest issue is there. And that's why Jared Goff will ultimately won't win the MVP, is because of that one game versus the Houston Texans on primetime TV. Monkey the Faded says crap. He will lose it straight up. Who is he going to lose the MVP to, Rust? Who is he going to lose the MVP race to? That's the real question. I'm interesting because Josh Allen is a good pick. I do like Josh Allen, but depending on what they do versus the Chiefs and other teams that they do play, is he going to be continued to do what he's doing? It is what it is. Jim Powell says they should rename the title to regular season champs. Nobody is tired of Lamar until Mahomes is done. So you are saying that as long as the Kansas City Chiefs keep on winning and Lamar Jackson keeps winning the MVP, that people are not going to get tired of Lamar Jackson winning the MVP. True. I can see that. Ant says, I honestly think it depends on what he does in playoffs to determine if he wins the MVP, especially with Allen being the runner-up and carrying that Bills team. Except for the MVP is a regular season award, right? The MVP voting is done before the playoffs start, even though it's not rewarded till Super Bowl or till Pro Bowl week. All voting is done before the playoffs start. So it's strictly a regular season award. So it doesn't matter if he shits the bed in the playoffs or plays at an MVP level in the playoffs. It's a regular season award. And Peyton Manning has 5 MVPs. What? Really? Damn, I didn't know that. My man's on the wall. I didn't even know that. Crazy. Jim Powell says, even in a spot about Lamar, you think people will be tired of him because of your KC homerness. And true, but people don't like winners, Jim. Look at the Patriots. Look at the Cowboys. Look at the Packers. Look at the Chiefs. Flashback to pre-Patrick Mahomes. Even Patrick Mahomes' rookie and second season in the league. Actually, his second and third, right? When he really became a starter. When did the people start to hate the Kansas City Chiefs? When did the people say, oh, the refs are rigging the games for the Kansas City Chiefs? It is after they won their first Super Bowl, and then they went back to the Super Bowl and lost to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. That is when the rigging stuff really started to talk, because Kansas City Chiefs were being successful. They were going there year after year after year. People don't like winners. People do not like when people succeed. It is what it is. I mean, once the Kansas City Chiefs time is done, and then the Detroit Lions take over, they go to a Super Bowl, they win a Super Bowl. I bet you, right? If the Detroit Lions win a Super Bowl this season, and they make it back to, let's say, the NFC Championship game the next season, all that narrative about the Kansas City Chiefs, about everybody hating them, is going to shift to the Detroit Lions. It's rigged for the Lions. They want the Lions to win. They want it's people. It's easy to hate on winners. It is. WBN says also Henry might get 25 to 30 touchdowns on the season, and if he does that, you got to hand him the MVP. And ultimately, that might be Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry's downfall. Both is the fact that they're on the same team and they're going to split votes. That's what's bad for them. But Derrick Henry is definitely a very, very good candidate. Saquon Barkley, easily a MVP as well. There are a lot of MVPs out there, but it's the quarterback on the best team. Bambler says too early for NFL bets. Never too early for NFL bets. I prefer to place my bets now, because that's when the point spreads are usually the widest right now if you do bets against the spread. Monkey the Faded says people hate the Cowboys because they're fans, not because of their winning. They hate winners. Fans are obnoxious. All fans are obnoxious, especially Buffalo Bills fans. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Kevin. But yeah, fans suck. And says, see, I didn't even know that. I thought that you could still vote for MVP during the playoffs too, since the MVP award isn't announced after the season. I am 90% positive that it is just a regular season award. But yeah. Jim says, I want you to win, Buck. I believe in you. I believe in you. Well, Jim, if you want me to win, I am in actually a Sports Podcaster Newcomer of the Year award race. It is put on by Rodecaster. Since I have a Rodecaster mixer and a Rodecaster microphone, I got entered into this Newcomer of the Year podcast thing. And I'll post a link, and it's fan based. Obviously, they want people to go to Roadcast and whatever, yada yada yada. Strictly fan based, not like anything just like that. But you guys want me to win? Go to that and vote for Man Hour, and maybe we can finally win something. Newcomer of the Year would be a good thing to put up. Would be a cool thing to put on the wall, I guess. But Newcomer of the Year. But Lamar Jackson, factor crap, guys. Are people going to get tired of him? I think it's fact. I think it is fact. Speaking of getting tired of, Brian Flores, the man, the myth, the legend himself, says he would love to be a head coach in the NFL yet again. As you guys know, currently he is the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. He's doing a damn good job. He has the Minnesota Vikings playing top-notch defense right now. So, guys, is it fact or is it crap that Brian Flores will get a head coaching chance again in the NFL? This is interesting. This is interesting because of what he's done, right? He sued the NFL just a couple of seasons ago for not hiring him because he was black. But when we look at Brian Flores coaching 3 years as a Miami Dolphins head coach, he was 24 and 25. He started out in 2019. He went 5-11. Not very, very good season. Also, they had nobody. The Miami Dolphins were complete dog doo-doo, right? In 2020, he turned it around. They were 10-6. And in 2021, they finished 9-8. Now, when we look at the 2021 NFL season, they finished 9-8, but they started off a little bit rough. They were 1-7. actually lost 7 games in a row. He was fired later that season after finishing the season 8-1, meaning on a 7-game winning streak. So they lost 7 in a row, they won 7 in a row, and he still got fired. Still had a winning season, like, get out of here, right? Let's flash back even further, 2020, the year that Tua was drafted. There was a haze over the whole season, right? Is Tua going to start? Is Ryan Fitzpatrick going to start? Whatever, yada, yada, yada. Ryan Fitzpatrick ended up starting the season. As a starter, he went 3-3 going into the bye week. Into that bye week, he was benched. After being 3-3, playing really, really good, Brian Flores was like, it's Tua time. Now, people deem that he already had a set date, like, hey, we're going into a bye week. After the bye week, insert Tua, which I applaud that. I'm like, yeah, stick to your guns, right? But, when you look at the starters for Tua, right? Tua did have 5 starts, 5 wins, right, with just 1 loss as a starter his rookie season. But let's not forget that Ryan Fitzpatrick bailed him out in the 4th quarter in 4 of those 5 wins. Now, it was rumored later that Brian Flores was fired because he did not want to tank the 2021 NFL season after starting 1-7. Long story short, he got fired by the Miami Dolphins. He sued the Miami Dolphins because they were paying him $100,000 to lose each game or something like that. I don't think that was ever proven. Later, he went into the coaching pool and he sued believe it was the Denver Broncos and somebody else because they didn't hire him or do that because like he was black. Not for sure where the lawsuit is pending. I think it's still pending in some type of judicial tie-up thing. But the last thing that I read, the last thing I remember saying that the judge cannot sue. Brian Flores cannot sue those teams. And just long story, basically kind of getting swept under the rug. But guys, is it a fact or crap that Brian Flores will not get a head coaching job again, or will get a head coaching job again in the NFL? And this is crap. This is crap, right? As winning is everything in the NFL, winning cures all, right? Whether you like to admit it or not, the Miami Dolphins were heading in the right direction underneath Brian Flores. Whether you like to admit it or not, he put into he stuck to his guns, and he ended up winning 7 games. And he is a winning coach. Whether you like to admit it or not, the NFL is still a good old boys club. Whether you like to admit it or not, the NFL owners protect themselves. And when somebody like Brian Flores wants to come after a team or two, it was the Broncos and somebody else, I can't remember for sure, when he wants to sue them for not following the rules of hiring, the good old boys are going to end up sticking together, right? Like, hey, you are trying to hurt one of us, all of us are against you. Now, I understand that the Vikings did hire him, and maybe some teams have moved past that, right? But when you look at the teams that could potentially use the services of a Brian Flores as a head coach next season, Dallas Cowboys, Giants, Jets, who's out there? Like the Saints, right? Are they a part of that good old boy club? And I think they are. I think they're a part of the good old boy club, and I don't think he will ever get a head coaching job again because of what came out in Miami, right? He exposed the owner saying, hey, tank or you get fired. He tried to sue the NFL for collusion and not hire him because he was black. And I don't think the NFL would want to deal with that again, right? If he does bad and he gets fired, are they worried about they're going to get sued? So fact or crap, will Brian Flores ever be a head coaching job in the NFL again? I think it's crap. I don't think he will ever be a head coach again in the NFL. It's just, it is what it is. Monkey the Faded says facts. Flores deserves it. And he is, like, Kevin, you are right. He did a good job in Miami. He had 2 winning seasons in Miami. 2 out of 3 were winning. He was turning the team in the right directions. He wasn't playing ball with the owners, ultimately called the owners out, and I think that's ultimately what it's going to cost him, but he definitely deserves it. He's definitely a good coach. Look what he did in Miami the last 2 seasons. Look what he's doing in Minnesota right now. He definitely deserves it, but he won't get it because of what he did. James says, fact. Honestly, he did a hell of a job in Miami. He did. Did a hell of a job in Miami with the shit-ass roster. Let's just be honest. Shit-ass roster. Ryan Fitzpatrick was a starting quarterback for like a while there. Come on. WBN says, big crap. He will never get a position that high again. He's lucky to even get a coordinator job, and that's no shade, but the facts are after the whole situation. It is. That is the truth. The truth of the matter is because he wanted to sue them for not hiring him or not interviewing him, or I don't remember the whole basis of the lawsuit. Quickly got swept under the rug. But wasn't there like 5 or 6 other people that was like a part of that lawsuit, like as well, some players and stuff like that too. But when you sue a company for doing wrong, and then you want to work for them again, it just seems kind of weird. Monkey the Faded says, we'll come back to this at the end of the season. We will. We will definitely come back to this at the end of the season, but I think it is crap. I don't think he will get another head coaching opportunity again in the NFL. Speaking of head coaching jobs, Brian Daboll and general manager Joe Schoen has said that the injury clause will play no bearings into whether Daniel Jones starts or sits for the rest of the NFL season. Daniel Jones is on his contract year this year, guys, or he could actually opt out, or they cannot pay him, whatever. But, guys, is it fact or crap that Daniel Jones will sit out for the rest of the season, a.k.a. get benched? So when we look at Daniel Jones, guys, he has been with the New York Giants for 6 seasons. In those 6 seasons as a starter, he has led them to 22 wins, 44 losses, and just 1 tie. He has had 1 winning season as starting quarterback, and that was back in 2022, which was deemed the rebuild year. They won a playoff game that season versus the Minnesota Vikings. That season and that offseason, he did sign that extension to where he is at right now. When you look at his career, his career completion percentage is just 64%. His best touchdown season to date was his rookie season for 24. 24 touchdowns his rookie season. Since then, he's had 11 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns, and 2 touchdowns last season, which he was short with like injury, and then so far 8 this season. His best yardage season to date, it was the 2022 season when he had 2,305 yards passing. He only broke 3,000 one time after that, and that was his rookie season. And, by the way, he did get tackled by the 40-yard line. It's like his 3rd year in the league versus the Dallas Cowboys. So, guys, is it fact or is it crap that Daniel Jones will not start for the New York Football Giants for the rest of the season? This is 100% fact. This is 100% fact, mainly because the New York Giants are out of any type of playoff race that you could potentially do. They are 2-8 on the season. They have lost 5 games in a row, and they lost 6 out of the last 7. Their wins this season have come against the Browns and versus the Seahawks. The Seahawks win. I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're back. Since then, dropped 5 games in a row. Daniel Jones playing shitty, right? Shitty. He does have 2,000 yards passing, which is 15th in the league, 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, and his QBR is 46.5. He's not playing good. Now, Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll can say all they want that injuries don't have nothing to do with it, yada, yada, yada. But the simple fact of the matter is if Daniel Jones gets cut and or traded, but is unable to pass the physical, the New York Giants will still owe him $23 million. So if you are telling me that injuries do not have anything to do in benching of Daniel Jones, you're blowing smoke up your own butt. You are blowing smoke up your own butt. But guys, the question is fact or is it crap that Daniel Jones will be benched for the rest of the season? I think it is fact. It is fact. Monkey the Faded says crap. He's making too much money just to set him. And Monkey the Faded, Kevin, if that were the case, he would definitely be playing. If it were the case that this was not his opt-out year, that would be the case. If it was the case that he had 3, 4, 5 more years left on his contract, that would be the case. But this offseason, the Giants can opt out. Daniel Jones can opt out. But if he's injured, they cannot opt him out. And he's still owed $23 million. So, do you want to keep Daniel Jones on for next season with $23 million, or do you want to bench him, assure that he will be healthy, and start a quarterback by the name of what was the old Tommy DeVito, right? Put Tommy DeVito in, but you're saying crap, and I could see it, but no. And Monkey the Faded says, don't forget about the ghost tackle. Yeah. True. James says, I'll be shocked if he don't get benched. He has to get benched, right? It's been rumors for week after week after week. I think it's the worst kept secret in the NFL. He's going to get benched because the Giants don't want to pay him $23 million next season. They want to draft a quarterback or see what they got in Tommy DeVito or whatever, and just they're done with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is out. 22 and 44 as a starter, 6 seasons. I think it's run his course. James says he will be a Raiders starting quarterback soon. No, he'll be the backup to Dak Prescott. And Toon says he played so bad versus the Vikings. Yeah, week 1 he did play pretty bad, but I give you the Panthers, and I give you the Commanders, and I give you the Steelers. Daniel Jones has had a bad season, right? When you don't have a running game, yes, Tyrone Tracy has kind of been the bright point, but the Giants are not very good. It's simple. They're not very, very good. And when you're not very good, that usually means there's going to be some type of coaching change. That usually means that is going to be a change at the helm, whether it's head coach, offensive coordinator, general manager, whatever. There's going to be some type of changes. And this offseason, guys, I think there's going to be a lot of changes, right? Obviously, I think there are going to be some job openings this season that I think are going to be very, very sought-after jobs. So when we look at the potential job openings for the 2025 NFL seasons, I'm going to throw out some team names here. We're going to throw out the Chicago Bears. I think they fired their head coach. The Dallas Cowboys, I think they fired their head coach. Jets obviously fired their head coach already. Giants, Brian Daboll is out. Saints already fired their head coach as well. Those are 5 coaching openings that I think that are going to happen in 2025. So with all that being said, all those 5 teams will have losing seasons this year. But guys, is it going to fact or is it crap that the Dallas Cowboys head coaching position will be the most attractive job in the NFL? So when we look at teams like the Saints, Giants, Jets, Bears, and Cowboys, when you look at attractive coaching positions, first things first is you have to look at the roster, right? Obviously, the New York Jets have a very, very old roster. Aaron Rodgers, Lazard, Devontae Adams, those guys, right? But they do have a nice young nucleus. Sauce Gardner, Garrett, Breece Hall, just name a few. That's a very attractive roster over there. And obviously the owner is kind of, quote, all in, right? He is, quote, all in because he gave Aaron Rodgers the keys to the kingdom, said, come here and save us, right? The Chicago Bears, pretty good young roster too. Caleb Williams, bust to be determined, right? Right coaching, maybe he can come out of it. They have Rome. They have a pretty good defense. But then you get to the Dallas Cowboys roster. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, Brandon Cooks, Diggs. This is a roster that you could definitely build a team around, right? So is it fact or is it crap that the Dallas Cowboys head coaching position would be the most attractive job in the NFL in 2025? It's 100% facts. It is 100% fact. Who wouldn't want to be the coach of America's team? Who wouldn't want to be the coach of a team that you're consistently in the headlines week after week, year after year, day after day? You're always going to be talked about. You can be terrible and you can still be headline news. Guys, what would make the only downfall for the Dallas Cowboys is a general manager, owner, Jerry Jones. If you can put him in his place and say, hey, know your role, jabroni, the Dallas Cowboys are going to the moon. They need to trade Micah Parsons. They need to figure out how to restructure Dak's contract, restructure CD's contract, bring in some players, right? But this is the most attractive coaching position out there. Chicago Bears, terrible franchise. Jets, terrible franchise. Hopefully Woody Johnson becomes ambassador Woody Johnson a lot like again. And maybe the Jets can turn the corner. The Giants, they just don't know how to win. The Saints, potentially. But the roster doesn't really intrigue me at all. They're old, not really that good. Derek Carr might be the only bright point. But this is the fact. They are the most attractive position out there. How are they not? Dallas Cowboys' most attractive head coaching position, hands down. Well, what do you guys think? Fact or crap? Who is the most attractive head coaching position or team in the NFL? John says crap. What's up, John? Pixie and Punny himself says John says crap. The Dallas Cowboys are not the most attractive position. Interesting. Tuned says the Vikings said that J.J. McCarthy was healthy. They would bench Sam Darnold. I don't believe that for a second because everything that I read said that they're all in 100% on Sam Darnold. So state your sources, man. State your sources. WRA Tower says, you keep not believing me, but the Cowboys position is already filled in Bill Belichick. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Monkey the Faded says, crap. They're not America's team. They're America's second choice. Who's the first choice then? The Buffalo Bills? Toon says, why are there two streams? So I stream to Facebook. We stream to YouTube, like as well. And then we stream to YouTube Shorts, right? YouTube Shorts gives us the opportunity to really branch out to a lot of people because, you slide through their vertical streams are a thing now. And we try to get them to come over to the mainstream. So that's why there are two streams on YouTube tuned. So it is what it is. Monkey the Faded says Dallas needs to get rid of everybody and start over. They need to get rid of Micah Parsons. That's who they need to get rid of. John says, what coach wants to coach Kibo the Elf, undermining him? A coach that doesn't have a job right now. The Tennessee Titans' old head coach, what is his name? Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel would love that. Robert Saleh, he was undermined by his own starting quarterback. He can handle Jerry Jones. James keeps saying Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick. I don't know. It's still America's team. It's still America's team. James says Daboll will be in Chicago. I think Daboll is going to go back to his offensive coordinator position. I don't think he'd be a head coach. Kevin says Dallas Cowboys are in salary cap hell. Who wants to deal with Jerry Jones as a general manager? Very few people. It will take a special person to be dealing with Jerry Jones and that salary cap. But you're a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, best team in the NFL. Why not? My man Derek says, crap. Who wants to work for Jerry at this point? Probably two coaches in 2 years. So you're saying fire Mike McCarthy, insert Robert Saleh. Let's just throw names out there. Brian Flores. They gone. I don't know. Potentially. But Jerry has a history of kind of hanging on to coaches, right? Because lately he's just been hiring yes men. Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, right? They're all yes men. And if he hires another yes man, they'll be there for 5-6 years. But if he doesn't hire a yes man, then I could see 2 coaches in 2 years. I can get behind that, Derek. Kevin says the Steelers were asked to be America's team when they beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl in the 70s. They said, "We aren't America's team. We are the Steelers." It's a historical fact. Historical fact are that nobody was born in the 70s, Kevin. If you were born in the 70s, you are older than John. No shaded. Bill Belichick. Kevin says Bill Belichick won't be in Dallas next season. He's not a yes man. This is correct. He is not a yes man. Not a yes man at all. So, guys, we're getting ready to wrap the show up today. I got to get the kids off the bus a little early, but I wanted to end the show with a little bit of fun. I wanted to end the show with a factor crap that people are kind of like, maybe, right? So we all know that Madden has been a staple in households for 15, 20, 25 years, right? Madden football, NFL football has been in my household for at least 9 years, right? I've been playing a lot of Madden football the last 10, 12 years, right? So, guys, is it a fact or is it crap that Madden is the best football game ever? Is Madden the best football game ever? And when I started to think about that, I'm like, you know what? Madden is pretty good, but they monopolized it, right? Back when EA Sports was a thing, and so you had Madden, you had EA Sports, and then I thought there was something else. Was it like NFL Street, right? That was the prime of gaming, right? That's when the games were improving year after year, getting better. I have to outdo this. I have to outdo that. I have to outdo this, whatever, right? And then at the time, Madden was pretty good. Right? But to say that Madden is the best ever, that is crap. Madden is Madden is not even the best NFL game, right? Give me some NFL Street all day, every day. NFL Street was shit. What was it, like 5-on-5, on 4-on-4? You suplex people. You're playing in like with basketball courts. Like come on. To people say that Madden is so great, you all didn't live in the heydays and in the 90s, right? In the early 2000s when we had NCAA, NFL Street, basketball Street. Like gaming back then was the shit. But to say Madden is the best football game ever, NFL game ever, nah, NFL Street. Give me some NFL Street. So, guys, is it a fact or is it crap that Madden is the best NFL game ever? Ever. James says crap. Techno Bowl is the greatest ever. Oh, come on now. Come on, James. Did you ever play Techno Bowl? You're not that old. Come on, man. Kevin says, I love me some Mutant League football and Blitz. I forgot about Blitz. NFL Blitz was a shit. I like the NFL Blitz. That was pretty cool too. Right? And John says, facts. Madden rules. Raider Nation for life, baby. Come on, get out of here. Derek says, nope. Street ball when I was a kid had me playing in 20 degree weather. I did spend a lot of time outside playing football, but when I got older, when I get in college, I started playing a lot of NCAA and a lot of Madden just because, get away from it. Techno Bowl was legendary. Oh, so guys, factor crap is Madden, the best NFL game ever. Crap. 100% crap, right? Monkey says you can play Techno Bowl Super Bowl with updated rosters now. Really? Interesting. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Derek says you didn't wear your Lions jersey on that show. Basically because I was out and about and I didn't have time to get it out of the closet. That's why I didn't wear it. So it is what it is. James says, sir, I was born in the 70s, baby. Damn, you old as balls, man. Man, that means you're almost 50, James. My man's almost 50. Blitz was pretty sick. But guys, that is going to be it for today's show. I had fun. I hope you guys had some fun as well. Week 11 NFL Pick'ems is out there. It is in the pinned description below. You can also go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/manhour, and click on the link. It's on the Pick'ems. Get your chance to win $2,000. And this week's weekly prize is, I don't remember what the weekly prize is. I think it's another hoodie. But it is what it is, guys. But I got to be out today. We're cutting it a little bit short. I apologize. But we'll be back tomorrow. Live, raw, uncut, 1:30 East Coast time. Hopefully your guys' Facebook stream starts to work. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I really don't know. But until then, guys, see you tomorrow. We out.